Hey, this is Matt with Mountain Stream Teas. Today I am in Luye, Taiwan, and I'm actually standing underneath a full-grown tea tree. Today we are going to look at the difference between a tea tree that's been left to grow and one that's been manicured for the farm. Let's go. So you can see right now, I am actually standing underneath a fully grown Camellia formosensis wild tea plant, a cultivar that's indigenous to Taiwan. But it doesn't actually matter all that much because a lot of the tea trees, when they grow up, all the cultivars sort of look like what it is behind me. Now this tree was planted about 15 years ago and it was just left. So they planted some seeds and it grew. This is actually in a garden that's beside or close to the actual farm. So the farm is actually over here. In a minute, we're going to go and see some of the cultivated tea plants of this same cultivar. But this one right here was just planted about 15 years ago and just left to grow. So this tea tree behind me, above me, is what it looks like when you're actually seeing tea plants in the wild. Now, obviously this is not in the wild, but you get a pretty good idea. As you can see, the roots are, they're not that big. The bottom stem, it's not that big. And as you move up, you can see the leaves spread out. And if you really wanted to get a decent pick out of this tea tree, it would be very, 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 very tough. You can see here the leaves, they are, there are some leaves that are coming out. Some are mature, some are less mature, the ones that you'd want to pick. But it's all mixed together with the flowers, with the seeds. It is not efficient if you want to pick it to make some tea. Let's go over to the other side of this farm and we can go actually see what this exact same tea tree, the same cultivar, looks like after 15 years of being cultivated. Let's go. All right, so you can see right now I am in the Camellia formosensis tea garden. Now that tea tree over there is the same age as these tea trees here, except these ones have been specifically treated to up the efficiency for making teas. Now how do you do that? Well, every year they come back and they cut them back like this, right? They keep them about this high. Now why would they do that, right? Two main reasons. One, they don't get all gangly and big, right? So people can come through and pick them by hand and it's okay. The second reason, when you cut them back and you keep cutting them back year after year after year, you get a bunch of new growth. And that new growth is what you make tea out of. So right here, I can just stand here, I can pick out some new growth, just like this. There we go. So this tea right here that you can see that I just picked off the top, this is what you make tea out of. In those great big huge tea trees, you can see that they're very, very, very tough to pick. You got to get ladders. Here you come through, there's a lot more growth that comes up and it's just easier to pick, create tea in these gardens like this. But let's take a closer look at the actual tea plants here. So the first thing you can notice is that the roots, the very bottoms of these tea plants are about as thick as the ones from the tea plant that's just been left to grow. And as you move up, you can see it spreads out and it's sort of a similar fashion, much more intact, obviously, but in a similar fashion. And then when you get to the top here, you can see that tops are just all of this very young leaf. This stuff that would be picked just for the tea. It would be picked just for the tea. So you can see something like this, be able to pick that and be able to make some tea right out of that leaf right there. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the main differences between sort of the planted, cultivated tea in gardens like this and tea trees that are left to grow wild. As you can see, ideally we'd love to have wild tea trees growing everywhere, but growing them this way ups the efficiency, makes it easier, and makes it cheaper. Thanks for watching. If you have any other questions about this, please let us know. Like, subscribe, you can comment below. If you like these videos and want to keep them coming, please visit the website. You can buy some tea. I'll leave a description of some of the teas that are actually grown from this garden. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next video.